Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I like to begin this video by giving all glory, all honor, all praise unto Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Ba'asham Rakakadash. Giving double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS, beginning with Allah Apostle Taha. Peace, love, and salutations to the 144,000 chosen men, and shalom to the elect men, women, and children who will surely be shown grace in this time. These are brothers Hananiah, Maya, Sha'ala, Isaiah, and they just bring a little edification out on the name, or more so rank, Immanuel. First, we are defining what nomen omen is. In ancient Rome, the predictive power of a person's name was captured by the Latin proverb nomen est omen, meaning the name is a sign. First and foremost, I like to put face on who we talking about here. In Matthew chapter 3 and verse 16. And Yahushai, when he was baptized, went up straightway out of the water, and lo, the heavens were opened unto him, and he saw the Spirit of power descending like a dove, and lighting upon him. And lo, a voice from heaven saying, This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. The book of John, chapter 1 and verse 14. And the Word was made flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory, the glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. We're going to define our word begotten. The book of John, chapter 1 and verse 14. Begotten, meaning single of its kind only. Use of a Mashiach denotes the only begotten Son of the Father. So that is the Father, one and only Son. One and only begotten Son. Alright, so understanding that He's the only Son begotten of Yahweh. We're going to get into the second point. What comes with being the only begotten Son of Yahweh? Well, to start this, we're going to go to Hebrews chapter 1 and verse 1. Power Yahweh, who at sundry times and in diverse manners spake in time past unto the fathers by the prophets, hath in these last days spoken unto us by his Son Yahushai, whom he hath appointed heir of all things, by whom he also made the worlds, who being the brightness of his glory, and the express image of his person, and upholding all things by the word of his power, when he had by himself purged our sins, sat down on the right hand of the majesty on high Yahweh, being made so much better than the angels, and as he hath by inheritance obtained a more excellent name than they. For unto which of the angels said he at any time, Thou art my son, this day have I begotten thee. And again I will be to him a father, and he shall be to me a son. We're going to go to Isaiah chapter 9, reading verse 6. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. So now we're going to explain the term name, right? Right, going to the Isaiah. Right. So we're going to define this term name. Well, it's saying here name, 1A name, 1B reputation, fame, glory, 1C the name as designation of God, 1D memorial and monument. And we also want to define our next version of the term name in Revelation chapter 19 and 12. The name, there is the first definition, name, universal of proper names. The name, the definition 2, the name is used for everything which the name covers, everything a thought or feeling of which is aroused in the mind by mentioning, hearing, remembering the name, i.e., for one's rank, authority. We're going to focus on that, right? Now, going back to understand, we're going to read First Kings chapter 18 and verse 31. And Elijah took 12 stones according to the number of tribes of the sons of Jacob, unto whom the word of the Lord Yahweh came, saying, Yasharallah shall be thy name. And we're going to go to Genesis chapter 35 verse 10. And Power said unto him, Thy name is Jacob. Thy name shall not be called any more Jacob, but Yasharallah shall be thy name. And he called his name Yasharallah. So we're going to understand here, all this we read is to explain what? Yahweh obtained a rank and authority given to him by his father, being his only begotten son. And we also want to understand that people are called after their father. Case in point, we just use the example we see in Kings. They call people in Israel after, they call the son, of Jacob Israel, because he was called Israel. So Yahweh can be called God because his father, name, rank, authority, he is called God. And to exemplify this fact, bring an example in Matthew chapter 1, starting at verse 21. In Matthew 1 and chapter 21, and she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Yahushai, for he shall save his people from their sins. So this video here will be really making is highlight what? In the original prophecy, which we'll get after this, in Isaiah chapter 7 and verse 14, it was prophesied that they will call his name Emmanuel, which is Imnawaahla in the Hebrew tongue. Say he prophesied that they will call his name Immanuel, right? And we wanted to highlight that he did fulfill that name according to scripture. Now we're going back to the Matthew chapter 1 and going back at 22 now. Now all this was done that it might be fulfilled which was spoken of the Lord by the prophet, saying, the prophet Isaiah, Behold, a virgin shall be with child and bring forth a son. They shall call his name Emmanuel, which being interpreted is power with us. So we want to prove here that he fulfilled this prophecy, even though he was given the name Yahushai, but the saying they shall call his name Emmanuel. So now the Isaiah 7 and 14. Isaiah 7 and verse 14. Therefore the Lord himself shall give you a sign. Behold, a virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and shall call his name Emmanuel. Now, in Matthew 1, 21 to 23 is the fulfillment of the prophecy. And now we want to get into, well, what I mean. Given the fact that his name is Yahushua, which is he is salvation, he lived out that name. Did he live out this name God is with us. Power is with us. Well, you want to go to Exodus 23, starting at 20. Behold, I send an angel before thee. Now, an angel is a messenger. When you go into the word angel, it means messenger. Yahushua is that messenger. Before thee, to keep thee in the way, and to bring thee into the place which I have prepared. Beware of him and obey his voice. Provoke him not, for he will not pardon your transgressions, for my name is in him. Now, the brothers just highlighted there what? That name goes into what? Rank and authority, power. Those were the things given unto Yahushua by the Father Yahweh. Through his inheritance, being the only begotten Son of the Father. Alright? So, we want to prove that he has this authority, this rank being called God, right? Power is with us. Imnawaahla. Imnawaahla. And to prove that he live out this prophecy and can be called God, we're going to go into the authority that he has, right? To start, we're going to hit John chapter 14, verse 6. Yahushua said unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father, but by me. I'm going to jump down to verse 9. Yahushua said unto him, Have I been so long time with you, and yet hast thou not known me, Philip? He that hath seen me hath seen the Father. And how sayest thou then, Shew us the Father? Believest thou not that I am in the Father, and the Father in me? The words that I speak unto you, I speak not of myself, but the Father that dwelleth in me, he doeth the works. Believe me that I am in the Father, and the Father in me, or else believe me for the very works' sake. So we see in here that Yahushua is saying that the Father is in him. And when we say the Father is in him, we want to understand is that he authority, when he say the work's sake, the authority that the Father Yahweh has, the things that the Father Yahweh can do, he can do as well. He has the authority to do so. Also what the Father has and owns. Right, well. Right. There's John chapter 16, and we read in verse 15. And all things the Father hath are mine. Therefore said I, that he shall take of mine, and shall shew it unto you. I'm going to jump down to verse 23. And in that day ye shall ask me nothing. Verily, verily, I say unto you, whatsoever ye shall ask the Father in my name, he will give it you. So you're understanding that Yahweh Shai's name has weight to the Father, that you could ask Yahweh for anything in the name of his Son, and he will give it to you. That is the authority that Yahweh Shai has or commands. There is John. So what I also saying is you can't talk to the Father unless you use the name Yahweh Shai. Can. So there is John chapter 17, and we read in verse 9. I pray for them. I pray not for the world, but for them which thou hast given me. For they are thine, and all mine are thine, and thine are mine. I am glorified in them. So we saying here, this talking about the people, right? Israel. Just like how the Lord Yahweh is we Lord, Yahweh Shai is also our Lord. What does that mean? It explains the prophecy. Yahweh Shai has the same rank that Yahweh has, or the authority that he has to say that he is Lord over us, the same way Yahweh is Lord over us. We want to go to John chapter 5 and verse 22. For the Father judgeth no man, but hath committed all judgment unto the Son. And we know the Father does cast judgment, Zephaniah 3 and 5. The just Lord is in the midst thereof, he will not do iniquity. Every morning doth he bring his judgment to light, he faileth not, but the unjust knoweth no shame. So we see in here that the same authority the Father has to judge or cast judgments on people, he's given that to Yahushai, thus further proving that the authority that the Father has, Yahushai also has as well. And the final point here. Yahushai does things only the Father was stated to be able to do. Let's prove this. Because man will say, well, he just had the rank and authority, but he also has the power his Father has. It's Exodus chapter 4 and verse 11. And the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai said unto him, Who hath made a man's mouth? Who hath maketh the dumb or the deaf, the seeing or the blind? Have not I the Lord? The book of Mark chapter 8 and verse 22. And he cometh to Bethsaida, and they bring a blind man unto him, and besought him to touch him. And he took the blind man by the hand, and led him out of the town. And when he had spit on his eyes, and put his hands upon him, he asked him if he saw aught. And he looked up and said, I see men as trees walking. After that he put his hands again upon his eyes, and made him look up. And he was restored and saw every man clearly. So what he now do there? He now heal a man's sight. He now restored a man's vision, as the Most High said he can do in Exodus chapter 4 verse 11. We're going to Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 39. See now that I, even I, am he, and there is no power with. So can we read that again? See now that he, even he, is him, and there is no power with him. He kill and he make alive. He wounds and he heals. Neither is there any that can deliver out of his hand. We now say that he kills. That is the Most High we talking about here. He kills, right? And he make alive. There is the book of John, it's chapter 11, and it's verse, we're going from 37. Some of them said, Could not this man, which opened the eyes of the blind, we know that talking about is Yahushai, and have caused even this man should not have died? And caused that even this man should not have died. Yahushai therefore again groaning himself cometh to the grave. It was a cave, and a stone laid upon it. Yahushai said, Take ye away the stone. Martha, the sister of him that was dead, said unto him, Lord, by this time he stinketh, for he had been dead 4 days. Yahushai said unto her, Said I not unto thee that if thou wouldest believe, thou shouldest see the glory of power? Then they took away the stone from the place where the dead was laid, and Yahushai lifted up his eyes and said, Father, I thank thee that thou hast heard me. I knew that thou hearest me always, but because of the people which stand by I said it, that they may believe that thou hast sent me. And when he thus had spoken, he cried with a loud voice, Lazarus, come forth. And he that was dead came forth, bound hand and foot with grave clothes, and his face was bound with a napkin. Yahushai said unto them, Loose him and let him go. Just in case you don't understand what just now went on, like John 12 and 1, and Yahushai 6 days before the Passover came to Bethany, where Lazarus was, which had been dead, whom he raised from the dead. So what Yahushai now do? He now give life. I thought it's only Father had the authority to do that. He also has it as well. Like Jeremiah chapter 36 and verse 1. And it came to pass that in the 4th year of Jehoiakim, the son of Josiah, king of Judah, that this word came unto Jeremiah from the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, saying, Take thee a roll of a book, and write therein all the words that I have spoken unto thee against Israel, and against Yahweh, and against all the nations from the day I spake unto thee. from the days of Josiah even unto this day. It may be that the house of Yahweh that will hear all the evil which I purpose to do unto them, that they may return every man from his evil way, that I may forgive their iniquity and their sin. The book of Numbers, chapter 14, and verse 18. The Lord is long suffering and of great mercy, forgiving the iniquity and transgression, and by no means clearing the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation. So we doing, he forgiving sins here. There is the book of John, chapter 3, and we'll go from verse 8.
John 8 and 3.
Salah, Tawada. John 8 and verse 3. And the scribes and Pharisees brought unto him a woman taken in adultery, and when they had set her in the midst, they say unto him, Master, this woman was taken in adultery in the very act. Now Moshe in the law commanded us that such should be stoned. But what sayest thou? This they said, tempting him, that they might have to accuse him. But Yahushua stooped down, and with his finger wrote on the ground, as though he heard them not. So when they continued asking him, he lifted up himself and said unto them, He that is without sin among you, let him cast the first stone at her. And again he stooped down and wrote on the ground. And they which heard it, being convicted by their own conscience, went out one by one, beginning at the eldest, even unto the last. And Yahushua was left alone, and the woman standing in the midst. When Yahushua lifted up himself and saw no one but the woman, he said unto her, Woman, where are those thine accusers? Had no man condemned thee? She said, No man, Lord. And Yahushua said unto her, Neither do I condemn thee. Go and sin no more. And in the book of Mark, book of Matthew, chapter 9 and verse 6. But that ye may know that the Son of Man had power on earth to forgive sins. Then he said to the sick of the palsy, Arise, take up thy bed, and go unto thine house.
So the point we're trying to get across here is that the same things the Most High has claimed to be able to do in the scriptures, it's the same things that Yahushua did. The same things that Yahushua able to do, the same things that the Most High able to do. So this whole Immanuel breakdown supposed to entail is that one, Yahushua had the rank and authority of his father, has the rank and authority of his father, and the power of his father, to prove that he has the rank and authority of his father. And he, while he was in earth, was, how I could say this, was like God.
So to basically give an example how we live out the name Imnawaahla, right? Basically, if you see a man walking down the street, and that man, let me say we was here 2,000 years ago, right? And we did see a Yahushua walking down the street, we could literally point at him and say, Hey, look, God walking down the street, because he lived that life. We could even go to Revelation 19 and verse 12, right? Yeah, we read this earlier, explaining how name means rank, right? But we brought it up earlier. But to read, there's Revelation 19 and 12. His eyes was a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns, and he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. What this explaining as it pertains to this video is this: no one knew what it was like to be God as a man in the flesh, but he himself. When we say God, like the mighty God, no one knew or understood what it meant to live life as though you were the mighty God as a man in this flesh. Thus saying, he fulfilled the name Imnawaahla, God is with us. And with that, we'd like to give all glory, all honor, and all praise unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakodash. Lord's willing, this lesson was edifying. We want to give double honors unto the apostles and elders of GMS who brought us this doctrine in all sincerity and in truth. To the men standing by the highways and byways pushing this doctrine, we like to say shalom. Even to the aquatem out there sitting and listening in silence, we say shalom.